Welcome to Medicine Talk ND Live, where you can discover life without medicine. Join us live 12 to 1 CST every weekday, where you can talk to a naturopathic doctor for free and learn more about naturopathic medicine. ND Live is brought to you in partnership with FullScript, the doctor's choice for delivering the safest source of professional-grade supplements to their patients.
Everybody, and welcome. I'm Eli Camp, one of the founders of Medicine Talk, and we are doing interviews with doctors across the United States who are participating in a program Medicine Talk has called ND Live, Discover Life Without Medicine. We thought it would be great if you could actually hear from and see the doctors who are on the phone. And today we have Dr. Aviva Wertkin, and you have a practice in Brattleboro, Vermont.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You guys have snow yet?
We finally did, starting today, actually.
Oh, wow.
How about you? Rain, snow,
fog,
fog?
gray skies. You know, Oklahoma is the land of, we're famous for ice storms. So we don't get a lot of snow, but we get a lot of ice. So, yeah. So, you know, I think everyone out there is, well, first let me just say thank you so much for participating in ND Live. I know it takes time, and I think it's so important people understand naturopathic medicine and naturopathic doctors. And I wonder what your story is. How did you come to naturopathic medicine?
That's a great question. And first, I would just like to thank you, Dr. Camp, for organizing this and doing all this to help make this information more accessible. It's awesome what you're doing. So now I forgot your question. How did I find myself?
Yeah, what brought you here? What's the story?
It's kind of a long story, so I'll try to make it short. It started for me when I developed rapid health problems in college and went through conventional treatments for years, having my symptoms managed, not very well with prescriptions, not getting answers, and really wanting to know why things were happening for me. And so I really started a multi-year quest to get the answers, to get my health back. And in the process, I learned about naturopathic medicine, and I became inspired to be the kind of doctor I was looking for. And so I hadn't, you know, in the past wanted to be a doctor. I knew I always wanted to help people, but I thought it was going to be in a very different way. And so it was through my own healing journey that led me to become a naturopathic physician.
Did you hear about it when you were in college, or did you go
Yes,
check it out?
I was sort of right around the end of college. And so my undergraduate degree was not a pre-med. I had to go back to school for my pre-med after that.
Right, right. Yeah, I knew I wanted to be a doctor, and I applied to traditional medical schools first. So lucky that one of my interviewers, when he said, why do you want to be a doctor? And I told him, I want to help people. I want to find out why people get sick and how to correct that. And I believe the body can heal itself. And he just shook his head and he was like, you are so not in the right place. And
wow.
yeah, he did me a huge service by pointing me in other directions. So
hugely, hugely.
Yeah.
And my background before I went to naturopathic medical school was in research. And I was working at the National Institutes of Health doing clinical research. And the supervising physicians all encouraged me to become a quote unquote real doctor.
Right.
And the further along I got in my program in naturopathic medical school, the more it was validated for me that I made the right choice, that I wanted to be a different kind of doctor. And, you know, and it was very hard at the time to say no to these physicians I highly respected. But I think for some of us, going a different path has been the right choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us a little bit about your practice.
So my practice in Brattleboro, Vermont is a naturopathic primary care practice. So naturopathic doctors are licensed as primary care, although many people will also come see us as a natural medicine specialist as well. So we can either be a specialist or a primary care, which is awesome for me. I get to see everybody from newborns to geriatric and treat everything in between. It's a very busy practice, and I don't know, what else would you like to know about it?
what's your approach? You know, I think one of the things we hear from people out there is that sometimes they can go see a naturopathic doctor and the care that they receive isn't as quote unquote natural as what they were hoping for. And I know from experience that you have a very vitalistic practice. So maybe tell people what is that? What does that look like?
That's a great question. So, prescription drugs, that's sort of the standard treatment in practicing medicine, and it's a very, very small part of my practice. I think with vitalism and applying the philosophy of naturopathic medicine, I'm always looking for the root causes. And, depending on what someone comes in with, someone might come in, let's say, with migraines and irritable bowel syndrome and joint pain. And so they're seeing 3 different doctors for 3 different complaints. But what I try to do is look at the person collectively and help explain to them as I'm figuring out how all of these things are actually interrelated. And so it's about getting to the underlying cause and then using the safest, least toxic treatment possible to help somebody restore their health. So it's not even about using a drug or not, it's how we are looking at the body and understanding how their body might best respond to get back to health. And that can be true whether they come in with, a sore throat and strep throat, or they're coming in with, rheumatoid arthritis, or something else like that. The same approach applies. And with vitalism, it really comes down to getting rid of anything that's toxic to the body and giving the body what it needs to function optimally. And that applies universally. So when that happens, I'm rarely ever needing to prescribe. And it's really one of the most awesome things to witness when we have this privilege of doing this with people. And some people come into my practice who have no experience with naturopathic medicine at all. They have no idea. I think they're even nervous because they don't know what to expect.
Right.
And they've never had a doctor talk to them about changing their diet or what vitamins or minerals they might be missing, or explaining really why these things are happening, so much more beyond bad luck or genetics or those other things.
Right.
And then there's other people, especially in this community, who live very healthy and they already eat really well and they have a whole healthy lifestyle, but they're still not well, or they want to take their health to the next level. So constantly what I do in my practice with each person is meeting them where they're at and then helping apply these principles to meet their goals. Does that make sense? I could go off on so many tangents.
I know. I'm the same way. I talk about naturopathy. I see so many folks in my practice who they come in and they're really sick. They've spent years suffering. And I think to myself, wow, I really wish you had learned about naturopathy and naturopathic medicine years ago, because it would have made your journey. And I believe we all have the journey we have for a reason, but I'm hoping with ND Live that we can get people information, because you don't know what you don't know. I love that saying. There's no way, right, for you to know unless you get some more information.
I think that's such an excellent point. And if I could just add to that, because I also see people who come in who are really, really chronically so sick and they're suffering. And they've been so afraid to try anything else, or they don't know. And so they come to see us as a last resort. And sometimes because a relative or loved one is kind of dragging them in and saying, please, just maybe try this. And then they're blown away when they learn what's possible, how safe it is and how effective it is, and how much it's embedded in the basic sciences that they had no idea. And so I think it's truly what you're creating with ND Live is so much in alignment with what inspired me to become a doctor. I wanted to be the kind of doctor people were looking for, so they wouldn't have to go as long with suffering as much as I did, or the next person. So I really love that we have this opportunity to try to reach more people and be so accessible to answer their questions, so that they might be more comfortable seeking out the care sooner.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you. So how can people find you to come and work with you as their doctor?
It's a great question. So if people are on the internet, which we're assuming, they can certainly go to the website. My practice is called Nature Medical, and that's Naturae Medical, Medical. So you can go to naturamedical.com. You can also call the office at 802-251-7476. There's also a Facebook page for Nature Medical. So there's a lot of ways that you can certainly find me in my practice.
Excellent. And of course, check our public calendar for ND Live, because Dr. Wertkin is live once a month, 12 to 1 Central Standard Time. I don't remember the days, but it's on the calendar. And well, thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. Tell us, do you have a favorite herb that you can share with people that you like?
It's very challenging. And so I will say I'll pick my favorite herb of the month, subject to change. Okay, so my favorite herb right now is Schizandra.
Nice.
And I really love this plant because it works in multiple ways to help a little bit with the liver and helping support detox pathways, because so many of our bodies are inundated with toxins and need that support. But it also helps with adrenal stress and emotional stress. And I have yet to encounter anybody who's not undergoing stress at this point.
Right.
And it also helps with mental clarity. And so one plant addresses so many concerns that I see that I often add it to many formulas that I'm creating for a patient.
Nice. It's an awesome herb. That's great. Well, listen, thank you for taking the time today to come and talk to us. And I hope you have happy holidays. And I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Camp. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Visit medicinetalk.org to join us at ND Live today. And be sure to ask your doctor about Full Script.